You're going to recognize the threat. Bear, bear, bear!
East in Talkeetna. Pilot Don Lee believes that if the flight doesn't kill you, the grizzlies just might.
Boom, 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 boom.
Aggressive encounters are rare, but every year bears do attack people in Alaska.
I was charged by 2 grizzlies at once. Killed a bear in self-defense once, killed a bear inside my tent with the bear in the tent with me.
So Don wants to teach his student pilot Amy how to use a gun before taking her into the wilderness.
Ears forward, not to be too alarmed. Ears back, bad sign. Oftentimes they'll stand up and you'll think they're woofing at you like woof, woof. Because what they're doing is they're trying to smell as much as they can.
Amy loves to fly, but when it comes to bear defense, she has a problem.
I was a peace studies major in college and just have always been really uncomfortable with guns.
Okay, you've never held a handgun before in your life?
I've never held a handgun, yeah, never.
Yeah, the average firefight lasts about, less than a minute.
I've had opportunities to learn how to use them before and have always chose not to. So this is really like outside of my comfort zone today. And by firefight, you mean you and a grizzly?
Yeah, grizzly, Taliban. These 2 thumbs go together.
Okay.
1 finger. Okay, so put it back in your holster.
Don starts Amy off easy on a stationary clay target.
Ah! Good Lord.
Okay, that's okay. You're okay. It's ready to go again.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Hey.
I actually hit one.
You okay? You ready for the charging bear now?
Yeah.
You don't ever want to take your eyes off the charging animal.
Okay.
And you're going to look, you're going to recognize the threat.
Okay.
You're going to draw your weapon. Fire 1 in the air above it with the front sight. Boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
Okay? We'll see how you do. Bear, bear, bear! Comes, it comes! Diversion! Diversion! Bear, bear, bear! Excellent. Okay. She started out completely missing it. Now look at all the shots she's got right in the kill zone, right in the bear. Getting right in the eye, right in the nose.
Man, I was shaken when the first time I shot this thing, just all the noise and like the fear of like somehow hurting myself or hurting you.
But I hope that builds confidence though, that if you are in a situation or if you're protecting somebody else or something, you could protect your own life.
Now that Amy can defend herself, it's time for Don to start her flying lessons.
Maybe we'll see some bears.
Yay!
Alaska, either you're running from someplace or you're running to someplace. It's never in between.
Back in Talkeetna, Don Lee continues to push student pilot Amy out of her comfort zone.
I started flying in Virginia, so most of my time is in really flat areas, so everything up here is different to me. If I ever wanted to work up here or do something in Alaska, I would definitely use this information.
Amy has 0 experience flying in the Alaskan winter, so Don's trying to teach her the basics, starting with how to land on a frozen lake in the middle of the mountains.
Amy is really intrigued with winter ski flying. It's something that she doesn't have a chance to do down in Virginia.
So let's start right at the edge of the hills here.
Okay.
We want to be just a little bit above timberline.
Okay.
Boy, this looks like bear country to me.
Don's worried how Amy will handle the landing.
On these remote lakes, there's no one checking the runway to see if it's smooth or clear. There's no one telling you the wind. You have to be everything. It's a lot of information for someone new like that.
That'd be a little bit of wind for you to work with today.
My job is especially challenging because I have to allow these people, a total stranger basically, manipulate the controls and put that aircraft in a position to make a safe landing.
Now we're getting a little wind from this way, so I'm guessing that the wind is, we have a headwind right now.
Suddenly, 15-mile-an-hour winds rock the plane. The lesson takes a dangerous turn.
And be real careful when you go down to the flaps like that.
You think I was grabbing the wheel when I got the flaps?
A couple times I had to give it full deflection.
So you want me to start descending?
Yeah, sure.
She must position the skis at a precise angle with the ground, or risk flipping the plane into the lake's deep snow.
Be ready to add power now. Be ready to add power. Full power, full power.
Just before touchdown, Amy gives the plane too much power.
Don't push it forward. Pull your power back. Pull your power back. Careful. There you go.
Better.
Woo! Yeah, beautiful. It's perfect conditions.
She nails her first lake landing, but her lesson isn't over yet. Next stop, a glacier landing near Denali National Park. In Talkeetna, veteran instructor Don Lee knows taking it slow is the key to survival.
So anytime I get a new student, to have the learning environment, you don't want to overwhelm them because it's very easy to get completely overwhelmed in the mountains and land in the glaciers because we're way out of the box in this type of flying, and so it's going to be completely different for her.
Today, Amy will try landing on a glacier in the deadly Talkeetna mountain range.
All those valleys, all those rock climbs, my head is filled with bad people that have died. This valley, 2 people died. Plane crashed over there, killed 5 people. We still do it. We still fly up there. You just have to know that you're not exempt from getting killed up there.
In 2005, an experienced pilot started his climb over a nearby ridge too late and fatally collided with a rock face.
Mountain flying has to be second nature. We're concentrating on 20 square feet of slanting snow. And you need to learn to ignore all the cascading ice falls and the crevasses and all these other things.
To get to the glacier, student pilot Amy must first get over the outer ridge. And that means getting up and over a wall of 50-mile-per-hour downdrafts.
Air has fluid characteristics like water. You know it's going to drop down this hill, it's going to go up this side, it's going to spew out the valley, it's going to be rising on this side, descending on that side, and so that's kind of the way you look at the air. Be very careful. Now we're flying at 60 and we got a lot of air going on here. We don't want that. When we cross that ridge, we want to be about 80.
Okay.
Because
all right.
if we got descending air, we're not going to be able to get our way out of it.
Sure.
Your natural tendency when you go into rising terrain is to pull back,
Okay.
which is exactly what you don't want to do.
Right.
Amy must gain altitude and airspeed fast, or the current will toss her and Don into the side of the ridge.
Now remember, this is not flat.
Right.
Feel the sinking?
Okay.
Attack the mountain, drive into it, because if you shy away from it, it's going to eat you up. If you see all that blue sky, we're at a real steep angle of attack. Okay, power, 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 power.
She makes it over the ridge and inside the range.
So there's a lot going on here.
But her riskiest challenge comes next. Touching down on a glacier without skidding into a mountain.
One of the biggest things about glacier landings is that you can't go around and check it out again. Once you're committed, once you're in, you might land too low or too high, or you can screw it up, but don't try and turn out of there because you're not going to make it.
Right.
You're only looking at that 20 square feet is where you want to touch down at. No, power, 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 power. Full power, full power. Okay, add full power, full power, full power. Get the nose down. Don't lift the nose up when you feel it coming, when you feel the airplane doing that.
Yep.
It'll fall out of the sky, man.
Don's directing a landing from the passenger seat, and his student is veering off course.
Okay, so let's get rid of that flap.
All right.
Put the nose down. Okay, now come back in your power a little bit. There you go. Now we're just coming in nice and straight. Oops, that's okay.
All right.
Amy's going too fast.
Okay, now come back in your power a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, off on your power.
She slows to a stop just seconds before smashing into the mountainside.
All right, so it got kind of crazy there, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's one of the hardest things to tell yourself when the train's rising not to pull back away from the train. My job is to keep us from getting hurt, right?
Right.
The important thing was, even though I was yelling, don't push, pull, push, power, everything else, you still flew the airplane, which was important.
It does feel good when we've done it a couple of times, you know, and I was kind of getting the hang of it. Then yeah, it's really fun.
You weren't afraid, were you?
No, we're good.
Okay. All right, good. Well, I was.